So I'm nearly there. I've nearly finished Music Quest, and here is just a video to give you a little update on how that's going. For those of you who haven't seen before, I've decided to try to write to 100 record labels, send them a demo, and see how they respond. So you can see the stats here. I've sent out to 95 emails to 95 different record labels. I've been going for 10.1 hours, and I have a ghost rate of 95.6% and a success, as in response rate, of 4.2%. I've been tracking everything in my Excel sheet here. So here we have the session tracker, and that's just basically where I'm keeping an eye on what I'm doing. You can see the session numbers, the amount of minutes used. You can see I'm averaging, I don't know what the average is, but around 3 to 4 emails per session. And you see over here, it says the minutes per email, so it's been about 6.4 minutes. Now, if I was like really making perfect emails to send out, this would obviously take a bit longer. I'm not copy and pasting. Maybe some of the details sometimes. I am checking the record label out and trying to find a little bit of info about them, but I'm not sitting hours and listening to their catalog. So it is like trying to hit a lot of labels to see if I can get any success, but I'm still trying to I'm not just putting them all in the VC. You can see, anyway, I'll show you my emails. Here's just all my sent emails. You can see, oops, something bad's happening here. I think it's just freaking out because I'm using the recorder at the same time. Yeah, captured tracks and Mama Bird records. So some bits are the same, and then bits change up as I go. Mushy. So yeah. So we look how effective it's actually been after 95 emails. I will do an update in like a few weeks to see what the actual stats are. So I use 10 hours, as I've said, that many minutes per email. I've had 4 replies, or like 5 if you include kind of like more spammy things. One of which asked for further info, but it was scammy. It's like what they call like a hybrid label, which is basically just trying to charge you money for musical services and kind of packaging it as a label. So I kind of knew that might come. I tried to not write to those types, but that had happened. I got 0 acceptances from the 95 I've sent out, and I've got clear rejections from 3. I actually think I got more than that. One second, let me just double check. Oh yeah, so it was actually 3. I've opened up my rejections tab. Anna Molan from Iceberg Records, that's one based in Denmark. Pretty glad they actually took the time to reply. Thank you for sending me music. After review, we're unable to offer collaboration. They've wished me the best with my music. That's pretty nice. Celric Mures from Meg, I can't remember what his label was actually, but yeah, he said not taking on more projects, and then recommended I went to something called Make Waves, which seemed to me to be a little bit similar to the hybrid record label. They're kind of trying to charge money for services. That's fair, but that's not what I was after. And then I get one from, Adamant Rexis. That was the ones who are like a hybrid label. And then somebody called TM. I can't remember which label that was from, but it's nice they actually took the time to reject. That kind of made me feel I was at least not sending out into the void, and that my emails were maybe okay composed, so that people might feel like replying. If we just head back over to the session tracker again, it's the listens that are quite interesting. I got 25 listens on SoundCloud. I should have a stat here for how many listens that is per email. That's gone. That's annoying. But anyways, 25 listens divided by, so it's 95 emails divided by 25, right? You can see here, this is a private listing I sent them. Maybe I could have made that look better, I suppose. Maybe that's a small issue. But in all, 25 listens. And to be honest with you, many of them came within the first 50 emails. The listens have just dried up, and I haven't changed the email particularly much. I did the last few ones add a video on as well. And that video has had a 1 hit. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see after a month, when it's had time to simmer, how many contacted back and said anything, and whether we get any kind of acceptances to go forward. As I said at the beginning, I was skeptical of that. The main point of this experiment was to see, could I do it? Could I send out? I've never sent out to record labels before, and could I do it even though the voice in my head was telling me, no, you can't, or calling me an imposter or whatever, and just to try and get kind of that type of feeling. And we're at 95, so I haven't proved that I can do it yet. But I've been on a good flow, as you could see in the session tracker, and I've been working most days with a break day here or there to kind of not get too overwhelmed. I think after this video, I'm maybe not going to finish all the 5, but I'll maybe do 2 or 3 just to kind of get me over the edge. Let me try and think if there's anything else I want to tell you before I wrap up. Yeah, I suppose a question maybe I might address is and I've wondered this for myself as I've been going along, is a question of, has it been worth it? Well, in terms of responses so far, no. In terms of making something actionable in this kind of feeling, get my music out there, then yes, very much so. It's been a nice way to test the muscle, see what's reasonable. And the nice thing with this is you can okay, maybe I set the bar higher and I said 20 really high quality where I really nerd out on their thing to try to get them to take a listen more. But here I just wanted to see if I could just get it out there. But in any case, 10 minutes, 20, it's been between 15 to 40 minutes a night, usually on the 28-minute spectrum. I could use that time sitting on Netflix. I can still have some time sitting on Netflix or chilling out in whichever way I want to do. I just use that little bit, and it adds up to over a whole workday sending out emails to record labels. I'm thinking the next step is, okay, so many record labels, they apparently want social proof in the email, like how many listens you've got. I don't have many listens. I have a local audience. People will come out and listen, but it's not, is it because they're friends or whatever? It's not that I'm not racking up plays on TikTok or SoundCloud or anything. So they're just not going to be impressed by that. Even if the music is good, I think the music's quite okay. Some people like it. But even so, when they see there's no social proof whatsoever, they're just not, the chances of clicking through. And I'm sure the social proof also affects how you subjectively experience a record. So my next step, I think, if I'm going to take one of the next music quests, is to have a different target. And I think the target will be, if we go into my file, I've made a list of A&R, and many of them are actually, I didn't go through these actually. These are all the record labels that I did. I got different lists because I started running out of ones. And most of them, to be fair, are folk labels. So there are plenty to email if you kind of folk pop, alt folk, these kind of things. There's plenty to find. But I got a list of A&R, and many of them are connected to some of them I wrote to anyway. Celebration Records, Crunchy Frog, Tiger Spring, Sundance Group, Playground Music, Mermaid Records. There's not many of these A&R people who are not connected somehow to them, but the ones that aren't, I'll probably move on to them. But I am thinking maybe if I really need to increase social proof, of course I need to get out and gig more. But if we come over to blogs and playlist, this is like a bunch of, I got a bunch of blogs and radio stations and web scenes that are open for submissions that are not paid for. Because you can go on websites like Submit Hub and is it Label Radar, these kind of things, and you can pay money. I don't want to pay money just to be rejected. I'd rather be rejected for free. But yeah, so I've never really tried this. I've done 2. I didn't get a response from either of them, but I can go through this list. I can expand the list, and maybe the next step is write to 100 blogs or write to 100 radio labels, radio stations or whatever, and then see what kind of effect that has. And again, it only has to take 10 minutes a night. I could use another 20 minutes practicing. I could book gigs. It's so I'm thinking, that's maybe the next part of the music quest. Anyway, if you've got any questions about the what I'm doing, how I did it, or anything like that, just send me a message. If you've got any ideas for the next music quest, let me know, and I'll update in a few weeks about what the stats ended up on in the end of it. Anyway, I'm Sam, thought pop ish artist, trying to complete Music Quest.